Hi, thanks so much for joining me for my October favorites. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. When I said October favorites, I thought that's not right, but that is correct. I haven't done my October favorites yet. We are halfway through November, but I was really busy just trying to keep up with all of the new releases that I never had a chance to actually talk about my favorites for October. So I don't know if I'm including things that I introduced in November. I can't even recall, but these are the things that I've been going back to and been really excited about since I tried them. So starting with some eyeshadow, I love this Byredo palette, Metal Boots in the Snow. I used a couple of the shades here again today, but I used them with another palette or another product actually, just to see what else I could do with it. So it's a little bit more subdued, I think a little bit more wearable than the first version that I tried. So make sure to come back for the Get Ready With Me, because I always film the Get Ready With Me for my favorites videos, and actually for almost every video I will do that. So the Byredo palette, Metal Boots in the Snow, the Byredo palettes have been some of the most exciting palettes I've tried this year. Lovely, lovely. And if you want to see demos of all of these products, I have dedicated videos to all of these, so you can see swatches, close-ups, and you can see them on. I tried to put on as much on my face as I possibly could, but there was no way I could put them all on. I have so many this month. Next up, we have this duo by CLE De Peau. This is in the shade 106. It's a beautiful gray shade, but I was so impressed with this duo, I want to try other ones. The finish is so refined. It reminds me of their blushes, the blush duos that I love, that I'll talk about in a moment here. Really pretty on the skin. So if you were thinking about trying CLE De Peau shadows, I might even start with the duos first. There's a very neutral one that I'm looking at, but I'm not sure I'll pick up the other ones. The color combinations really aren't anything that I think I'd wear, but let me know. But I love this one, 106. Then we got this other eyeshadow by Chantecaille in Baroque. Now this is the one I thought, I'm not really gonna wear this except for something that's a special occasion. I actually wore this to an evening event. It was really pretty, really subtle, and I went in with some really big lashes, not big lashes, but I used quite a bit of mascara, and just this, I didn't line at all. Did I? I don't think I lined with that either. But I also used it during the day because it has this shift to it. So let me see if I can show you. So there's a bit of a bronzy tone in there. I noticed when I put a very light application, it's more bronzy than pink. So it's really pretty for the day too, in case you wanted to pick this up. I think it's a really special, very unique eyeshadow. We also have another Chantecaille, and I wanted to include the other one, but I couldn't find it, so it must have been sold out. This is the one in Leopard though, limited edition. I used it as the base for this today, so it softened up that look a little bit. And like I said, I do the demo, so you'll get to see it all by itself as well. But I really liked it as a base for these green shades. Really versatile shadow. And it's different than the other luminescent eyeshadows in that it has more consistent reflective particles in there. So some of the other ones have more distinct intermittent shimmer in there. This one doesn't have that. It's more even. I wanted to also talk about this Mad Eyes by Guerlain, the one in plum and in gold. If you saw a video, it was I think the Sephora haul video where I used this. It was so easy. It was almost easier to put down this deep plum shade first and then go on top of that with the lively gold. I think that's what they called it. No, shiny gold. Shiny gold on top. Very easy to use that way. I think using it with a little bit more finesse was actually more tricky. So you need to just go in really quickly, smudge it out, and then go on top with the gold and you're done. I also went in the waterline with this shade, but I've gone in the waterline with this shade as well. Really easy holiday look, and it did not budge. So this is one of those things where if you're going to an evening event and sometimes your makeup will move around, this one does not move. Once it's set, it's set. It's a really lovely color combination. Let's talk about blushes really quickly. One of my favorite blushes, maybe one of my favorite blushes I've tried ever, which is huge because I love blush. But I'm so impressed with this one, the way it applies, the way it looks on the skin. The shade of this one, all the shades are beautiful. You just kind of have to pick what you like, but this works really well on my skin tone. I have it underneath another blush. Of course, this is the Victoria Beckham Cheeky Blush Stick, and this is in the shade Major. I just think it's the prettiest blush. I can't find anything wrong with this blush. Even on top of concealer, it did such a beautiful job. Does well under powder, over powder. And I used this new brush that I picked up. Not new, it's new to me. It's the CLE De Peau blush brush, and it really helped with application. So this is a favorite as well. But if you wanted to pick up a really beautiful blush that will glow on your cheeks, but also set nicely, it's really comfortable, and it lasts for a really long time. It's the Cheeky Blush Sticks by Victoria Beckham Beauty. And again, this is in Major. I want to top that with one of the other loveliest blushes I've ever tried, and they are by CLE De Peau. Very much like the finish of the eyeshadows being very sophisticated and elegant and just pretty on the skin, these blushes do the same thing. They make your skin look so beautiful. And this one's in 105, and I just have the refills for now, but I think it would make sense to get one case just for blushes and I can switch them out, and then one case just for the duo and I can switch those out. But I went on top of this Major blush with this CLE De Peau blush. So pretty. Oh, I also wanted to mention, I do use this a little bit differently. I go on the cheek with this and then underneath with this. Now that I'm saying that, this may have been in the past video for favorites, but I just keep pulling for this. Then we've got this other blush by Chantecaille. I think when you look at it, looks like it's going to be difficult to work with just because it's so vibrant, but this goes on nice and gently and you can build it up. So it is subtle at first, but like I said, you can make this as intense as you like, but it is really easy to apply. And again, is one of those rare kinds of blushes, and I think that's what's common amongst the blushes I'm talking about today, is that they make your skin look so beautiful. So not only do they provide some lovely color, but the skin after application looks so pretty, glowy, healthy, all of those wonderful things. This is a beautiful formula, lovely color as well. And this is in the shade Akoya. Then let's talk about bronzers. I'm sure you already know. Guerlain. This is the one from the holiday collection. It's the, I always have to read it though, the gold bronze in medium warm. It's just the perfect bronzer for me. So I love the texture. I love the shade. There's nothing I can complain about with this bronzer. It is beautiful. There is a fragrance though I do want to point out, just like all the other Guerlain products. So just know if that is something that you take into consideration, there is a fragrance with this, but it's not strong enough where it bothers me. Yeah, in fact, I can't even sense it now that it's on my face. Another item that I didn't have a chance to integrate today has a bronzer, a blush, finishing powder, highlighter. It is the Hourglass palette, and this is the one that's in the Universe Unlocked. So it's the deeper of the two. I do use this quite often, especially with my Even Up sunscreen. It's got SPF 50, it leaves a white cast, so I put this on, it kind of softens everything and brings back the color to my face. These blushes are beautiful and the bronzer is too. So this is a really nice all-in-one palette for me. Really quick before we go on, I just want to mention this is a favorite, this Monos backpack. If you saw my haul, you'll have seen the backpack, but I've already started to pack it to get ready for a couple of trips we're taking. I think we're taking 3 trips actually very soon. So I started to pack this with some of my other favorites. So I already have them in the plastic baggies. Some of my minis from the Advent Calendar by Chantecaille. I just wanted to share with you that this is really nice. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it has some lovely padded straps here. So many pockets in here. I'm storing my packing cubes in here that I got from Monos as well. And what's in here, and I always mean to share these things, but there are certain things that I need to travel with, not need, but I like to have prepared to travel with, including socks. So I've got some socks in here that I like to travel with because these are specifically ones that don't slide off of my feet. Sometimes that can happen with socks, but I really like these. I will share the name with you because I can't remember, but I'm storing all of my packing cubes, and these are ones that compress as well. If you're not familiar with them, I'll leave the information below, but I just want to let you know I'm really excited to travel with this. So I don't think I included this in the haul, but this is the shade because I think it's hard to tell a little bit on their site. And this is a vegan finish, so it's not leather. And it has this that goes onto the handle of your luggage. Pockets in here, more pockets. I love the pockets in here. And there's like a coating on here, I think, for you to put shoes in. And then there's a mesh. And then there's also another pocket. Yeah, I love Monos products if you can't tell, but I did want to show that to you because I'm looking at it like I'm totally gonna forget that if I don't talk about it right now. Now for powders. It's kind of rare that I love this many powders in one month, but I found some really lovely ones because I'm pretty picky with powders. and they need to do a few things for me. So for me, powders need to look really natural on the skin, but also do the job that they're meant to do. So in terms of setting and making sure everything stays in place, I'm loving this RODIAL glass powder, and I can see why it's sold out in the UK. I saw someone I watch on YouTube, their makeup artist was talking about how much they love this and how difficult it is to get a hold of. I think there's one store here in the US where we can find it. I'll leave a picture because I don't know what happened to the lid, but it is just the most beautiful loose powder. It's different than the CLE de Peau. I'm gonna have to do a side by side with them, but it just leaves the most natural glow to the face, but also sets really beautifully. And it doesn't impact the concealer. Sometimes that can happen with me, where I put concealer on, I put powder on, and then it looks like I didn't conceal. So it will negate the effects of concealer sometimes, but not this powder. So I really love that. And then I love the GUERLAIN Meteorites. I've been using this quite a bit, surprisingly. I think there's a more subtle glow on this as well. That might be why. And I thought that these would stand out, these lighter ones would stand out too much, but they don't. It is really just the most beautiful ethereal glow. Again, I think these are my favorite GUERLAIN Meteorites out of all of the ones that I have. And I have about 3 or 4. And then as always, nothing new here. I just rely on this. This is a staple, the Perfect Blur powder. So you'll probably see that in most videos. I think I use it unless I'm specifically looking at just one powder. Even if I use something like the RODIAL glass powder, I will still finish off in the front. And I think in the Get Ready With Me, you'll see the difference and why I use this. This is the original packaging. Then I have so many beautiful lip products to share. So many winners. So the first one is the Chantecaille Lip Chic in Damask, which was my first like, I'm not quite sure about this one, to this is the one that I use the most, especially for evening events. I think it's such a pretty one. It's got a depth to it, but it's not dark. So that's what I love about it. It still has some life to it, and it anchors some of the lighter looks, I think, especially with something like this shade in Baroque. It was a little bit tricky for me to find something that would work with that, but this worked really beautifully when I did that Chantecaille holiday collection video. This is the lip that I paired with it. Another one is the SISLEY. I love this formula. It's in 43 Rouge Capri, which reminds me, I need to get one for my mom. She really liked this one when she was here. It's a beautiful deep shade, but again, nothing too dark. And then we've got the Chanel 157. This is from the number 5 holiday collection of beautiful berry tone. You can kind of see a theme here with these. They kind of look similar. This is how they look. Yeah, you can see why I would like them. So we've got the Chantecaille Lip Chic and Damask, and then we've got the SISLEY in 43 Rouge Capri, and we also have the Chanel in 157. Now the Chanel is the Rouge Allure formula. That is another one of my favorite formulas. And then we have one that kind of doesn't fit in that category because it's not berry and it's not a rich color like that, but it is something that I loved enough to buy a second one because the first one I gave to my sister. It's the Victoria Beckham in the shade Spark, and that's what I have now. So Spark is the color that works with almost everything with me because it's pretty much my lip color, but it just kind of evens everything out and looks really natural. So especially if I have something bold, I love to pull for this one, but it also looks pretty on an everyday. So I love actually this one and Major together are really nice. So let's see what they look like. So this is Major and this is Spark. So you can see a little bit of a connection between the two. So yeah, if I was gonna pick 2 Victoria Beckham items, just one cheek and one lip, these would be it for me. Really quick, before I forget these as well, I wanted to mention these jeans. I don't know if you saw the vlog where I unboxed them and then I tried them on and it was like, I don't know. They're by Citizens of Humanity. These are the premium vintage, I don't know what cut or if that's the name of them, but they're wide-legged. I got them a little bit bigger. They're 100% cotton, so there's no like stretch in them. So that's why I went a little bit bigger. I love these. If I could wear these every day, I would. In fact, I was starting to look for other jeans that looked like this in maybe other colors. I went with some by Levi's ribcage denim. They look cute, but they were not as comfortable because they are ribcage. Those are the kind of denim that are the old-fashioned denim that don't have this soft feel to them. These are so soft. So I'm so glad I kept these, and let's see if I can find a clip where I'm wearing them for you. So happy I got these and so happy I kept them. So these are definitely a favorite. Oh, and so is this. This is a favorite, this Theory sweater. I've been wearing this over and over, so you've probably seen in so many videos, but I'll wear it unbuttoned, I'll wear it flat like this, I'll wear it buttoned like this. And I think it's so cute when you button it all the way. I think I saw it on sale too, so I'll put the links below, but it's by Theory. It's 100% cashmere. I feel like if you're gonna get one sweater, this is a really great one to get because it's so versatile. I think it's just the cutest sweater. So I'm really happy I picked it up. I wish they made more colors so they'd pick them up for sure. Sometimes when you wear turtlenecks, it can get a little bit hot. So this gives you the option to unbutton this if you want to, and then you can kind of open it up. But lovely sweater. I wanted to mention, I did try this out quite a bit this month, the RODIAL XXL Mascara. I'm wearing it now. And many of you comment whenever I use this that my eyelashes look really long, and this mascara is wonderful. Now, the only thing that I have to caution you about is that sometimes, and I don't know what the factor is or what it is, but sometimes it will transfer up here, like after a longer evening. I noticed that it's like made some marks up here, so I don't know if that's me, like I'm touching them or what, but that has happened at least once to me, so I have been watching this. I don't know what it is that maybe I'm doing that's making that happen, but it's happened at least once where at the end of the night, I was like, oh, there was some transfer. But other than that, every other time I've used it, that has not happened. So I'm trying to think back what that might have been for that to happen. But otherwise, really happy with the volume and length I get with this really quickly. That does not knock out though my Chantecaille. I'm still devoted to this. This is my holy grail. It's still my favorite mascara, but when I want volume and length quickly, this is the one I'm going to use. I think I get more volume and length with this one versus this, but this is my holy grail everyday mascara. I just love this one. It does really well on the bottom lashes. So even though I used this on the top lashes, I used the Chantecaille on the bottom lashes. I also saw there was like a $99 for 2 on Nordstrom website. So if you're interested, make sure to pick this up. Speaking of Chantecaille, I've been using this black liner. It's so beautiful. The new one, and I just go in the waterline, I tightline with this. It doesn't move, but it's really soft gliding on. So I've been using that with some of my more intense eye looks. Love it. This is the Chantecaille highlighting powder, the Perle Lumière. It's gorgeous. It has this beautiful pattern on it, but I love it so much, I'm like, I'm gonna use it. So I just take the Buff and Blur brush and I will apply it on the cheeks, and it's really a subtle, beautiful glow. So if you were intimidated by this looking a little bit like too light, I think maybe, especially for my skin tone, it's not something I would naturally gravitate towards, but it looks really pretty on the skin. Again, one of those skin enhancing kinds of products. So I took a bunch of those minis out from the advent calendar and I placed them in my Monos backpack. So we're all ready to go for travel. So that is one of the reasons I really love this, because it solved an issue I had with packing, because I would decant my Chantecaille products and then I wouldn't remember what was in each item that I decanted, so it was kind of like guessing once I got there. I mean, I know there are labels and everything that you can put on there, but sometimes they slide off or they wipe off, and then I'm like, I don't really know what's in here. This way, the minis that they sent match how my full-size items look. So that's why I do love this one so much, and I will use every single item in here. A couple of things for skincare I wanted to mention. I rediscovered this, or I discovered this because I was gifted this by the Lacoes. It's the face oil. It's really lovely, but they also sent this over, and I love using that with this. Is another favorite. It's the Biolifting Cream Plus, and there's a mini of this in the advent calendar, so that's another thing I'm really excited about. But I love taking this and just scooping out the moisturizer with this tool, and I kind of dot it here, and then I apply my moisturizer like this. It's such a nice kind of relaxing experience. Oh, that was my earring. It's a nice relaxing experience applying it with this. I didn't think it would make that much of a difference, but I do enjoy applying it. And it has lots of contours on here, so I'll do this, or I can go like this right under the cheekbone, and then here it feels really nice under the eye area. So I didn't think this would do much, but I really am enjoying applying moisturizers and serums with this. Oh, and I also love this. It's great for the more dry months, like the winter months. Usually I'll use the other one, which is for more oily skin or for more humid climates, but this one is lovely, especially right now. And then we have a fragrance. I still need to get to my base products, but we have a fragrance here. Thank you so much for recommending this to me. So many of you did. It is the Baccarat Rouge 540. It's the perfect fragrance for me because I think it's got an understated strength about it, which I really like. It's not overpowering. It's something that's really easy to wear, but it's also very sophisticated. So I feel like I identify really closely with this fragrance. So thank you. You were so right. I really appreciate your recommendation because I wear this all the time. Yeah, it's very much a quiet strength. I think that's a good way to describe this fragrance. So happy to have the Gucci eyebrow pencil back with me, favorite eyebrow pencil. But I also loved revisiting this, the Dior Show Pump and Brow in 002. Really nice hold on this one. I have this one on today. So if you want more full brows like that, going with the pencil and then building with this, because there's some volume that you get with this as well as some pretty substantial hold. Then for base products, I've been using this a lot. The Le Beige Water Fresh Tint by Chanel. You can see, so this is medium and medium plus. So I have lost my tan enough that I'm using medium in the center now and then medium plus on the exterior. Really great for more dramatic looks because I like the juxtaposition of something more serious and almost intense with the eyes versus something really natural on the skin. So I like that for those more evening type looks, more glamorous looks. Doesn't seem like it would go, but for me, that's the balance that I like. Then for pretty skin where you want a little bit more finished, I wore this with some of the RODIAL products and I thought, wow, that looks really good. It's the Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizers. I have two, one in glow and one in tan. I love mixing them together. So I have that on today. So it's a more perfected look without being super perfect. Really very skin-like. So I got the question, why do I like this so much? Very skin-like, wears well over many hours, and it just looks beautiful every single time I use this. There's nothing that I'm unhappy with whenever I use this. It's just a really beautiful skin enhancing product that also has some coverage. And I mixed that today with this product, the Chanel Iridescent Illuminating Fluid, and this is the one in Au Revoir limited edition. So make sure to pick this up in case you wanted to. Actually put a little bit too much of this illuminator in. I mixed it in with these today. So you can see what that looks like, but it really made these so glowy. So if you want to try that with some of your other products and just increase the glow, which I think again is beautiful for these winter months. I love glowy skin in these cooler months. It's not even winter, fall. I guess it's fall. I really like that look, just a healthy glow. We've got the Peach Lowlighter, which I love for more no makeup days. This doesn't settle into pores. It's more lightweight though, more fluid compared to the other concealers I use. So it's for when I want to be a little bit more casual with my makeup. Otherwise, my concealers remain the same. I didn't know if you want me to keep talking about this because I feel like I wear the same things, but I think that also says something about them that I continue to go back to them. So CLE De Peau, and I'm using this in Honey now. I use it for my darker areas. It's really great if you have hyperpigmentation, need substantial coverage without it looking cakey or building up on your skin, or changing color over time during the day. That can happen with concealer. So I trust CLE De Peau. It always looks really, really beautiful. Plays well with all of my foundations. Still loving the La Prairie to highlight that area or brighten that area. Then the Sisley Under Eye Concealer is still a favorite right under the eye. So nothing has really changed there this month. As for brushes, these are my favorite brushes. Nothing super new here. Maybe this one, the CLE De Peau Blush Brush. I love this for cream and liquid blushes. It's kind of changed the game for me in terms of being able to apply right up here without lifting my makeup off. I love that. Same Shiseido foundation brush, still loving that. I've still loving this brush, even though you can't buy it separately. I don't think you can buy it separately. It is the one that comes with the Chanel Sublimage La Sauce de Temps foundation in the pump. Don't love it for the foundation. I think it absorbs too much liquid, but for cream products, it's amazing. Been loving this for bronzer, the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer brush. La Mer powder brush, I especially love it with that Rodial loose powder as well as the Meteorites. I've been loving that for those two things. Buff and Blur brush, love it. Oh yeah, and I've been going to this quite a bit, the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit, especially for cream bronzers and contours. That was a lot. I don't know how long this is going to be, so thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you made it all the way through, If there's anything that I forgot, I will include it below. But that is it for today's video, so let me know what your favorites are. I'd love to know, but I still have some new things coming in, so I will be reviewing quite a few new things. I thought we were kind of done for a while, but I will be reviewing them. So please make sure to subscribe if you're interested in luxury beauty. I also do some blogs sometimes and a little bit of fashion here and there. And also, as always, please let me know what your favorites are, because your recommendations are things I end up purchasing. So I really do appreciate you taking the time to do that. But that is it for today's video. So please take care of each other. Stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.